Dude, Wilbur, how are you? Are you all ready? Okay. Mama's ready too. They wanted me to come on here right away so I don't forget. Everything that glitters is not gold. We have the Rhinestone Cowboy by Glen Campbell. That is a song that I grew up with as a kid, and I loved it. And I always wanted to meet that Rhinestone Cowboy. He was getting cards and letters from people he didn't even know. Well, today that Rhinestone Cowboy looks a lot like the title. Everything that glitters is not gold. So, you got to be careful. Got to be careful. Everything is not what it seems, and most things are not what they seem. Now, the reason I like to be authentic and live is because I'm not doing this for fame and fortune. I'm not doing this for any other reason as if I walked into an AA room. That's what this is to me. It's like me just doing my daily energy talk. Okay? So that's what you get here. I wear very little makeup, and I don't dress up. I don't do my nails. Everything's real. Everything's authentic. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? I just wish everybody would be themselves. Okay? So, on with the message. Last night in Astro, I wanted to just go to the speakeasy and talk with some of my guides, and I felt like I was just working all night. So, there's confirmation. Yeah, we're doing a lot of work, and we have to, because everybody's getting really tired. Everybody's seeing that what glitters is not gold, and they're seeing it for real now. Okay, and it's very overwhelming. It was overwhelming enough to find out that the cowboys in this generation, in this realm, like when I was growing up, right in the 70s. I was still in the mindset that cowboys were real, right? But as you can see today, sure, there's a handful of you out there that are real. You own a horse ranch and you're an actual cowboy. But most of the things today that glitter are not gold. Okay? So there was a lot of learning I had to do, and it started with finding out Santa Claus wasn't real, right? Okay, and then it just never stopped, and now it's coming out like the floodgates have opened. So I'm just letting everybody know that this isn't easy, and we're really trying our hardest in Astro to get this shit going. It's a process like everything. So don't give up hope. When you do find out that stuff isn't real, then just move forward in the solution, because that's all we can do is move forward in the solution. Okay? And if anybody has any questions, you always can put them in the comments and I will answer them. So we're going to go in the other room and do the cards. We have Rhinestone Cowboy, Glen Campbell. All right. So let's go ahead and go in here. And let's see what we got. I give my hair to the birds outside when I take it out of my hairbrush. So that's what I was playing with there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wake our holy friend up. And turn the radio off. Okay, so what I have here is the overall energy is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords energy. And now you're totally in the dark, aren't you? All right, just a minute. Queen of Swords energy. And what is the Queen of Swords energy? Let's go ahead and try this. The Queen of Swords energy. Okay, there's my horses. And under the horses is shadow. So we're talking about the truth of you and the truth of reality, right? Your curiosity is bringing you all kinds of truths. And those truths are wolves in sheep clothing. Yeah, but you're going to have victory over it if you are determined and you have to push beyond your limitations. So by giving in and saying the world sucks, I'm going to exit out, that's not completing the mission. All right? I'm drawn to the elephants on the lamp. Oh, look at that. Somebody wants to come up and do a reading with us. So we've got curiosity. Do you ever hear the saying, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back? Okay, so we got the Nine of Wands and we had the Queen of Swords, okay? So you want to just cut away the bullshit. And if it's not real gold, you don't want to keep it. All that glitters is not gold, right? Your curiosity is leading you to the truth. You're finding the wolves in sheep's clothing. You do have victory over it if you stay determined and you push beyond your limits. And then with the cards, we had, yeah, it's time. It's time. This is your purpose, okay? To get rid of the toxic bullshit, all right? Go towards your abundance, have your rebirth, and there's news coming in that's very spiritual. And when I was telling you about that truth coming out and hurting you or bothering you, it's like, yeah, because a lot of this is even spiritual. To find out the Bible had 700 books that weren't released. To find out that your churches had underground playrooms, right? That's all shadow, toxic, yucky stuff, right? But we've got to stand in our truth and be bold and blunt. And then we had money and cleansing, and that just goes back to we're going into a different period where there's going to be med beds and a different financial system. So stay the course. Keep your Queen of Swords energy. Okay, and we'll go ahead and pull a few more. Let's go ahead and start a new deck. We've got the Nine of Diamonds on the bottom. And the Nine of Diamonds is your Nine of Pentacles. So you want to go towards your goal. You want to go towards your Nine of Pentacles. But taking that toxin, taking that truth, taking whatever comes out, and then living in the solution of it. Instead of living in the part where you're mad, sad, angry, wanting to give up, wanting to fight, go back into the spiritual part of it and say, well, what's the solution? The solution to this would be this, and then try it, and then just move forward with it. We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. So you're feeling like your cup is not filled. So work on getting your cup filled. A lot of this is because you're out of balance. Just like I said in Astro, we're doing so much work in Astro that I didn't even have time to sit with my guides in the speakeasy as long as I wanted to. But I wanted to talk with them. Okay, and then we have That's the Truth. So we have two aces. That's very good. That's yes, yes, yes. That's all about love and truth. So if you cannot fall for the movie's bullshit, you'll be fine, okay? If you're not going to fall for it, are you going to fall for the movie's bullshit and get all upset when you find out Santa Claus ain't real? I Miss You Girl. Aerosmith is playing in the background. Okay, so I loved that song when I was little, and I still love it. So that's what I grew up with. Okay, I'm healed, so it no longer affects me. I can listen to things in the past without going back into the past and getting all crying and thinking about my childhood, right? And woe is me. No, I'm healed. I can take the positive out of the song. Okay? And then the one-eyed Jack, but it's also my Knight of Truth. So you had St. Michael's Sword of Truth. The Queen tells the Knight what she would like of him. And I also got a lot of knights and queens reuniting right now because their Hierophant and their King of Swords, per se, is busy doing other things. Some of them don't want to take on a human body. Some of them want to stay where they're at on their high levels. So the Queen is dealing with a lot of knights. So a lot of the knights will be drawn to the queens and the empresses. And I say go forward because just because you're with a queen or an empress doesn't mean that you have to be thinking about marriage. It's more a business opportunity. It's more finishing the movie. It's more writing songs and bringing the world into one. Okay? And then we have your soul contract and the Two of Swords again. And you saw me shuffle, and I think this came out yesterday. So you have a decision to make about your soul contract. And I feel that you just rewrote it. And I feel that you're doubting it already. And there's the Jack of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands, which is coming off as you're getting really emotional about this, and that's probably why I mentioned the Queen and the Knights are getting together, and you're feeling like, oh boy, you know, she's gonna think I want to marry her, and I really just want to have a really successful mission with her. Well, that's good. Let her know that. She knows that. He knows that. Versus roles can be reversed here. Take it as I'm saying it. So you've got 2 twos, 2 knights, 2 aces. Okay, this is all really important. Now, the wild one-eyed Jack fell on the floor. So again, that's telling me to use your magic power. Song by Triumph. Okay, so we've got, this is a good reading because the last card out is the King of Hearts. So we're going to go over this one more time, okay? We've got, now, since you're healed, and it just flew across the room, so it's telling me that you're more healed in astro than you are here, but you're bringing it into your physical avatar here, so be healed here too. Now that goes back to the beginning where I said don't let the toxic truth that's coming out set you back. Some of you hear a truth and you get all upset. That's where that has to stop. Somehow you got to figure out in astro how to bring it into physical that you're not going to be affected by the bullshit and you're going to stay healed. Big one, because I can feel it in a lot of the people in the comments. I've got 3-4 people that comment all the time, and I've seen it in your comments how you're kind of letting things affect you. Now, I know that's really hard, and it's like, oh, easier said than done, Miss Mystic. Well, I understand that, but St. Michael, Sword of Truth, Ace of Hearts, going towards your love, your soul contract, this decision that you rewrote, that you made, is including 2 knights. So once again, if you're really dead set on finding your Hierophant, you may have to go through a few knights to get to him because the movie's not done yet. And then I'm also hearing that these knights are like a catalyst, a stepping stone to your next chapter. Now you have to remember that the King of Hearts And the Hierophant, they're already with you in 5D and higher. But here in the physical, most of us are alone. Most of us do not have their Hierophant. They're either in a toxic situation, or you're single, or you're trying to leave a toxic situation, so you're kind of in the middle. And it's like none of us really have that, like we did back in the 80s and the 90s, where we kind of felt like we had a partner. No. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of night energy. For 2 knights, 2 aces, and 2 twos to come up with your healing card and your King of Hearts, this is really, really a great reading. And especially for card readers that know what I'm saying, the outcome is the King of Hearts. So we're taking them 2 knights. We're going to finish that part, whatever it is for each of us. We're going to take the 2 knights, the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. We're going to use them to complete our soul contract, which is truth and love, the 2 aces. So right now you're in the 2 of spades. And I said 2 of spades, but this is the 2 of swords. So right now you're going through emotions. You're going through a lot of courageous and daring moves. And that's what knights do. They put on their armor, they get on their horses, and they do all the heavy lifting, don't they? While the queen sits back and delegates. So yeah, it's all making sense. So this makes total sense to me. I hope it made sense to you. 17:07 on the clock. If it didn't make sense to you, maybe watch it again and ask your spirit guides to help you, because it made total sense to me. Everything that glitters is not gold, so please move forward in your Queen of Swords energy. I am Miss Mystic. Thanks for listening.